Alright, Mrs. Leidenbach here, doing an example from Module 2, Lesson 12's homework. We did these together in class, but I'll put one on the website for you. Today was very similar to what we've been doing. We're just estimating factors and products to check for reasonableness when we do our standard algorithm, multiplying with decimals. Now, the main thing different today is some of these have 3 digits on the bottom now. So now we're doing 3 digits by 3 digits. But it's just the exact same process. So let's start by estimating these factors. Go to the biggest place value, which we have a 5, and what place value, you think? Well, that's a decimal. I don't know if you can see it. It's 5 and 42 hundredths. So this is 5 in the ones place. So I have to think, is it closer to 5 ones or 6 ones? And it's closer to 5. And then we have 305, which means we have a 3 in the hundreds place. When we look next door, that 0 says don't go anywhere, so it stays a 3. And we turn the rest into zeros. 305 is closer to 300 than to 400. So now let's multiply. 5 times 3 is 15. And we add our 2 zeros. So we know our answer is going to be around 1,500. And also today when we're multiplying with decimals, we'll know that we need 1, 2, 3, 4 digits in front of the decimal for it to be reasonable. So let's go ahead and do our standard algorithm over here. Start with our ones place, and we're going to do 5 times 2, 5 times 4, and then 5 times 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21, carry your 2. And 5 times 5 is 25, plus 2 is 27. So we got our first partial product. I'm going to erase the things I carried so I don't get confused, and I'm going to cross out my ones place. Moving on to my tens place, so I need to hold my ones place value because now we're multiplying by the tens place. It's just 0, so we know 0 times 2, 0 times 4, and 0 times 5 is just 0. So we don't really need it, but we can write it down. Now let's cross it out. Now we are in the hundreds place value, so we're not multiplying the ones, not multiplying the tens. Instead, we're doing the hundreds. It's 300 times 2, 300 times 4, and 300 times 5. It's just like if we were doing an area model, we would have broken that down into 300 and multiply it times each number. So 3 times 2 is 6. Line it up. 3 times 4 is 12. Put down your 2, carry your 1. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. So we have 3 partial products for 3 digits, so we're good. Let's add them up. Zeros just gives us 0. 1 plus 0 plus 0 is 1. 7 plus 6 is 13. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And bring down our 1 and our 6. So we have 165,310. But we have to put our decimals somewhere. So there's a few ways you can think of it. We can see we have 1, 2 digits behind the decimal there, so we could do that here, 1, 2. Or we could look up here, and like we said, our estimate needs to be around 1,500. So if it was 165,000, that's not even close. But if we have 1, 2, 3, 4 digits before, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 digits before here. 1,653 is close, pretty close to 1,500. It would be reasonable. We also, to get rid of our decimal there, had to multiply 5 and 42 hundredths by 100 to get 542. So we would have to take our answer and divide it by 100 to get it back to the original, which is moving it into place values because we have 2 zeros, 10 to the second. So there's a few ways you can think about it, but our answer will be 1,653 and 1/10.